hyped today. So,
well, we're live. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our well-oiled machine. How are you?
Oh, I'm hyped, I guess. Yeah. Just like Danielle.
I was talking to the people watching, but Jen, since you answered the question, how are you?
Well, since I got 6 hours of sleep instead of like 3 or 2, I feel like a half new woman.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle, how are you?
I'm on cloud fucking 9. Like, first of all,
give it a day.
No, I'm like, I only had, how many hours of sleep did I get? 5. And I am a 8 to 9 hour sleep type of girl a night. But since landing in Chicago, it's been like going to bed at 1:30, quarter to 2 in the morning. So it's like my college years, except I'm not waking up drunk. So that's amazing.
Always a bonus. Always a bonus. And for those of you who don't know, Danielle came here from New York via Fiji.
Basically.
So it took a bit of time.
Correct.
But so day 2, the Democratic National Convention in Chicago is in the books. It's been a ride. And just I want to, in addition to talking about the speeches and stuff, I want to give everybody a sense of kind of what it's like here. And also, of course, Danielle, it was your very first time at this convention yesterday, because you did get stuck in Fiji for a couple of days.
Yes.
Apparently there was weather in Fiji too.
So,
it is not just speeches. It is, hold on one second. It's masses of people roaming around the halls. It's lounges for certain classifications of people. It's very odd. It's sort of like the periodic table of human elements at the convention place. So we're not just sitting in the auditorium the whole time. We're sort of milling about, having conversations with people, giving interviews, getting interviews. So before we get to the speeches, I do want to see what, last night, your speech watching experience was at the convention. We'll skip the part about how long it took to get in and go right to the action.
Oh, okay.
So Danielle, what was a sort of a highlight of your first jaunt through the convention center?
Yeah, so it's just like to give people a sense of how it is. I guess think about it like a 3-day or a 4-day kind of tailgate where the energy is just really high. There are like a lot of ancillary events going on, like around, so you have convention, which is happening at the United Center, and then there are organizations, companies, different congressional caucuses and meetups and events that are happening all around the convention. And so it's like, you literally, Democrats take over Chicago. So yesterday I had the good fortune, before I went to the United Center, to go to 2 like LGBTQ plus focused events. I went to the Victory Fund's event, and for folks who don't know, the Victory Fund supports LGBTQ plus candidates and trains candidates for offices at the state, local, and federal level. So I went to that event, run into people that I've worked with on Capitol Hill, people that I've worked with in DC, because I've been in and around the political scene for over a decade. So that was really fun. And then after convention, went to HRC, the Human Rights Campaign's and Planned Parenthood's party that they threw last night, and the actor Billy Porter was performing. So so it's
shut
just like,
up. Did he do that? Did he do that like umbrella dance thing?
there was no umbrella.
Billy Porter. I'm getting him confused with the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind.
So Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, the guy who did the Rihanna. The guy who did the Rihanna song.
No.
Never mind. Sorry. Continue.
So
I know Billy Porter.
Yeah, actor, Pose, and a bunch of other shows. But yeah, it's incredible. The energy is amazing. It's fun to bump into people that I haven't seen. I mean, if folks understand, this is the first convention since the pandemic, right? Like Biden didn't get to have this kind of convention in 2020 because of COVID. So we haven't had a convention like this in person since 2016. So it's great to run into people and see folks and just like get to be in an excited place as opposed to, what's your exit plan? Which is what I was doing that was my usual. How are you doing, and how are you getting out of the country?
Where are you moving?
Yeah, because I'd like to update my contacts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we still need an exit plan.
Right. Fair.
Just in case.
Fair.
Because of the nefarious goings on.
What do you think, Portugal? My friend Penny's got like a 2-bedroom condo there, so. Oh, sorry, we don't need an exit plan. I forgot.
Not right now.
But we haven't won, you guys. I want everyone not to get fucking complacent.
Right.
Well, exactly. So let's focus our energy, because remember, forget it. We're not going to move. We don't have to move out of the country, at least right now. So we're not going to get it complacent, but let's use all of our energy. I think it was Michelle Obama last night saying, we've got work to do. So the work doesn't begin and end with the convention. And I think we need to use this energy to the extent that we have any left to go full throttle into the next, I think we're down to 76 days, but I'm not sure. Not a lot of time in political measurement. So Jen, and speaking of, Billy Porter was at our table, not at our table, but he was standing right there in one of the lounges we were hiding in, hanging out at, not hiding at all. So, I mean, I didn't meet him, but he was right there. I was like, oh, that's one of the cool things about this convention, though. You're just walking by and it's like, that person looks really familiar. Oh, it's a governor, or it's a senator, or it's somebody I've been seeing in movies since I was a kid, or whatever. It's a fascinating mix. And then, of course, they're the people who do the real work, the delegates, and so it's a pretty fascinating experience. So, Jen, what was a non-speech highlight of yours last night?
I'm just going to do it. So one of my highlights was I was trying to go interview someone live, and like we were leaving the building and then we were sort of talking right near the exit, where the security line is, but when you go out, they don't check your bag, etc. What do they think you're going to do? Like take a sign that, you saw on the floor. But anyway, so someone runs up to me, this petite woman, and she runs up to me and she grabs my arm and says, she goes, "Are you Jen Taub?" And I'm like, okay. I mean, that happens to me, but not with so much enthusiasm. And she goes, "I've been looking for you everywhere. I just went to the media table. I was going to go try to find you." And she said, "I'm Becca Balint." Becca Balint is the sole congresswoman from Vermont. She took Patrick Leahy's seat, and I used to teach at Vermont Law School, so I thought that's why she was talking to me. Now, it turns out that she follows me on social. She goes, "Keep doing the good work." And so Taylor Lawrence, as she sees this happening, films it. So I have it, on video. But I love her, and I think she's fantastic. And she's the first woman congresswoman from Vermont. So that was like a very unusual thing to happen to me, because I'm behind the camera trying to interview really cool people and ask them my 2 questions that I posed, which we can talk about later. So I think the highlight too was knowing my limits. I reached a point yesterday, and you guys, you think that we're just all doing everything. I reached a point yesterday where, because I was interviewing everybody, I made the mistake of not getting a seat in the arena early enough. I admonished Danielle. I said, get your ass in there. But of course, I didn't listen to myself because I'd been there the other day. And you literally could not find a seat. Even John Nichols of The Nation, who had a press area seat, tried to bring me in. They're like, yeah, no. Okay. So I made the executive decision to get out of there and watch it on the television from the hotel pub, which was incredible because it was an Irish pub. They turned down the music and everybody in the bar was watching and kind of gobsmacked by it. And I did that. And then I went into the chat, you guys. That's why I was in the live stream talking to our people from Mary Trump Media. And it was the healthiest thing that I did. And so for people who are worried, who noticed that yesterday I kind of missed the time zone and maybe I look a little cranky, never forget that you need your sleep. So my highlight was like getting into bed at a reasonable hour and actually hearing the speeches, even though I wasn't in the room. But I want to fucking hear about the room from Danielle.
Yeah, it's so weird, Jen. I think we were at the same restaurant at the same time. That's what a coincidence. So,
wait, did you have the waitress who lived in Montana whose mother is a Trumper?
Oh, she told you the same story?
That's weird.
What a small world.
So odd.
Incredible. So yeah, it was yesterday was a very different vibe too. And maybe it's because we were outside of the hall mostly. But it's really it's very chaotic. I'm not entirely sure how anything's getting done. Like it's just like seems everybody's sort of scrambling sort of towards the same end, but then there's this sort of serendipity, like you run into people that you didn't even know you were supposed to want to know, and they turn out to be very interesting or whatever, just just random people want to interview you, or you get to ask them questions, or as Jen mentioned earlier, we're trying to come up with a few stock questions so we can get different people answering the same one. And, I guess we'll do like a supercut or something of it just to see what people are thinking along certain lines. But then we got to the speeches. So Danielle's raising her hand and moving rhythmically because she is as on the heretofore mentioned cloud nine. Because she's only been one night without sleep. No, I'm kidding.
That's true.
So it's true. Danielle, we did leave separately. Jen and I left separately and went separately to the same restaurant where we separately had conversations with the same people. Incredible. But we saw the speeches on television. Of course, when we say the speeches, there's only two people we could possibly be talking about.
Okay, three, but okay, in my mind, three.
Okay, so you'll let me know what the third one is.
It's Tim Walz. That's what she says.
Oh, my apologies.
Hey, Doug. I get them confused. These men.
Doug. Yeah.
Doug, these married
Mr.
men.
First Gentleman.
I love. It was Doug. I know. And I've got a clip for you, Danielle. But go ahead.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so before we get there, I just want to do a little compare and contrast because you guys know that it's one of my missions in life to help Donald whenever I can. It means a lot to me. It may mostly help him with reality testing because clearly nobody is doing that for him. And he has certain obsessions with size. One implication of that we'll get to later. But, crowd size in particular seems to be the metric by which he judges his own worth as a human being. So I'm going to make it really easy for him now. Milwaukee! That's not here. That's somewhere else. Okay. So that's our Ancillary convention hall, where Vice President Harris and Tim Walz were yesterday, while we had a completely packed, like not a seat in the house, standing room only. I mean, just incredible going on simultaneously. So Danielle, do you think that will help gauge Donald's expectations?
Oh my God. So first of all, because I was on Twitter and because that's what I call it. Fuck you, Elon. But the fact that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz didn't fill one arena. They filled 2 arenas simultaneously, right? Like that to me, like when I was just like, oh shit, that's right. They're over there in Milwaukee. We're over here in Chicago. And it's 2 major stadiums that they fill to the rafters.
Danielle,
Like,
it's like that in that moment, I finally understood what the word flex meant.
I was like, oh my
Hell yes,
God.
you're right.
It was, it was, that was extraordinary. But I will say this. So I had to, as you guys are saying, like I walked around the arena for roughly 30 minutes, going into different areas, being turned away from different areas because they're like, we're full, we're full, we're full. And then gratefully was able to snag a seat. People were amazing. So was able to snag a seat. But I will say that look, I've been to every Beyonce concert, and I will tell you, and pay the money for it because her
Every single
energy,
one?
and not
Wow.
every single one, but at least the last 4. But like, so like I go because of the energy, the crowd, the people, and it was like that. It was just electric to be in the arena with people, and like people who are all there for the same reason, have the same spirit. And I know that you're going to do a round robin with us talking about the speeches because I have so much to say. Because Michelle Obama, Michelle miss me with your bullshit, Obama. Michelle, I have 0 fucks to give and no more elections to run, Obama. Like, it was incredible. And yes, that's the thing that I was going to say before we get into like the deep speeches were Morning Joe did a 2-minute video this morning of the difference in the roll call for the
Oh yeah,
delegates.
I just looked to
Okay.
see if we have. No, I
Yeah.
don't think we have the clip,
Oh, we
but
don't have the
yes.
Okay, the roll
go ahead.
call of the delegates for the first time was done to music, and let's just say the highlight was Georgia being called by Little John, and then him coming down and singing his top hits, and then ending with "From the Window to the Walls," which is what people on social media said as soon as Tim Walz was named by Vice President Kamala Harris. That song started trending in all of the spaces, and it was, I mean, the roll call can never be done the same way ever again. It always has to be done this way. It was fire.
Yeah, and I just realized we can't show the clip because of the music.
Oh, because of the music. Okay.
So
yeah. Okay. Go on social media, guys. I retweeted it
Check
on
it out.
my Twitter.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
It's incredible. It was incredible, but the best part of that, not the best part, because the best part was the fact that the DNC did it that way, but the contrast between how the Dems did it last night and how the Republicans did it. I mean, it literally is like a funeral on.
It was a wake. Yeah, it was
like a white people waspy funeral in the rain with black umbrellas. That's what the RNC was like. So, they just cannot. The Republicans did nothing right.
I just choked on my coffee like they do in those memes. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Thanks for sharing, though. Are you okay? Okay. So it's the Republicans did nothing right, unless you think it's a right thing to have a bunch of racist women abusers, introducing your candidate. And the Dems have not put a foot wrong at all. So I am going to Jen play a clip from Michelle Obama's speech.
Oh my God.
And I'm just going to introduce it this way. We have come a long way since we go high.
Fortunately, we know what comes next. We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this.
That's true.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Say it with your chest. That's all I was screaming. Say it with your chest.
I want to know who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs.
That lady.
Look,
Michelle Obama was like, I want to keep talking. No, we want to keep cheering.
I need to say, I was sitting next to a friend of mine, and then there was a older white gentleman sitting on my left, and I was hitting his leg, and I was like, oh my God, did you hear her? I was jumping up and down, screaming. Michelle Obama went scorched fucking earth, and it was extraordinary.
Well, Jen, it's about time. I mean, that's one huge difference, just in terms of content between 2020 and 2024. Like nobody feels the need to be polite anymore. Thank goodness. I'm not sure why they felt like they needed to be in 2020. But at least they finally understand the assignment, and that we need more of that, and the higher profile the person doing that, the better.
Laughing at racism is the way. It is the way. You can't fight this bad behavior just by using rational arguments. There's no rational argument for racism. We don't need to engage in why we have to justify why racism is wrong and why you should not disrespect Black people. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you are hardworking or successful. You don't, and this is not dissing Michelle. I love what she said, but I just want to point out, every Black person, every person has dignity. You shouldn't have to be president of the United States. And even when you are, this is the problem that she's talking about. Even when you are, when you have jumped through every hoop, when you have excelled beyond the imagination, still Donald Trump will ask for your birth certificate. Still, they're going to question whether you're a woman. Fuck you. And so this is the thing. Michelle had her moment where she had that, motto, when they go low, we go high. But different moments call for different memes.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not doing this. Miss me with this bullshit is the Danielle says it and Michelle said it, and she gave us the permission structure. Not you and I, but everybody else, because whatever, everybody else now has permission to lean into something that Mary Trump has been talking about from the beginning, since Mary, unfurled the very funny and very diagnostic mashed potato story, which you should probably go watch here on Mary Trump Media. When she shared that with the world and keeps sharing it, that diagnostic moment, there is a hole so deep in Donald Trump that going high ain't gonna fill it. The only thing that's gonna fill it is one day, and is making sure he is degraded. And I mean degraded like grades all the way down. And eventually, when he passes on, it doesn't have to be an unmarked grave, but somewhere, I don't want it to be on the back nine. I want it to be somewhere where I can go and spill my coffee, basically. Throw my coffee on that grave because, just like Elvis Costello said about Maggie Thatcher and Tramp the Dirt Down, I will be playing that when he passes. When he passes, it can be 10, 20 years. He could still be in prison then. I don't give a fuck. That's what I have to say. I am not going to go high when he goes low.
Yeah, look, I choose to believe that Michelle Obama was misinterpreted. But unfortunately, it stuck, and now it doesn't. Now, because we know so much more now, and to the point about successful, his just pathological need to tear down the successful, especially Black women. He also, I think it's even it's more basic than that. The more other you get from him, the worse he's going to be, the greater the vitriol, the more dangerous the rhetoric, the more dangerous the attacks. But anybody who's successful, anybody who has legitimately worked hard to be better, he will try to tear down, because he, as I've said before, is none of what he claims to be in terms of his success, although he's exactly everything else he claims to be, which is a racist, misogynistic, vile, traitor-loving fascist, which he's totally embraced now. So, Danielle, that's like even more permission for, because we're not, it's not like he just, really believes in American democracy, just has a very different vision for what that means, right? So I want to play one more clip and then get your thoughts on the other side. Let me just make sure.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Breaking news.
What? Don't do that. What? Just say what it is.
Said, okay, reading my breaking news. Someone said, stand by, but a private jet chartered, likely with Taylor Swift, took off from London heading to Illinois. I'm trying to get Illinois, trying to get more confirmation on this. Guys, this may be a bullshit rumor, but I wanted to say someone who I know. No, this is a trustworthy person. This isn't just a random Twitter chat. Hold the phone. Okay, shit, I'm going to camp out now at the United Center right now. See you guys.
Bye.
No, bye.
Have fun. Anyway,
Mary,
Hi,
play your clip,
it's me.
please.
I'm the problem. It's me.
She is one of the most dignified. A tribute to her mother, to my mother, and to your mother too. The embodiment of the stories we tell ourselves about this country. Her story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. All of our contributions deserve to be accepted and valued. Because no one has a monopoly on what it means to be an American. No one.
So we actually are almost out of time because this has gone very quickly. So Danielle, Jen lost her turn. I'm going to give you the last word.
All right. So I'll be super quick. But here's the thing. Michelle Obama, what she articulated last night is something that I have been saying on a lot of shows, which is that my feeling of patriotism has been restored over the past 4 weeks, because that's how long, folks, it has been. It has only been 4 weeks since we've had this seismic shift. And what I've realized is that we have ceded so much to the Republican Party over the last 8 to 9 years. We have ceded religion to them. We have ceded family to them. We have ceded patriotism to them. They put on their old Navy flag outfits and they call themselves patriots while they go and try and overturn our government and storm our Capitol building. And the reminder that we need consistently as Democrats of this multiracial coalition is that we are the patriots. We are building what democracy is supposed to look like. And quickly, I will say this about the Goldilocks remark that Michelle Obama made last night. She said that we have to understand that politicians are not perfect, right? That what is happening right now, the energy that we have right now, is based on what has been flawless over the last 4 weeks, has been this idea that Democrats can fight back without going into the sewer with Trump and the Republicans. But she said they are not perfect. So when a lie takes hold, do something, so that when you start to hear all of these rumors, when there's questioning, and they will be questioned, when they make a mistake, don't sit there and be wringing your hands and allow your anxiety to take over. Do something. And she said, let us not get stuck in this Goldilocks ideology where everything has to be, quote unquote, just right. Do something. It was extraordinary.
Yeah. Jen, your last word. I was not going to make you lose your time.
Do something.
Oh, well, that was succinct. And a good place to stop. So everybody watching, go forth, do something. We are in day 3, excuse me, of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. All 3 of us will be scattered, pursuing different lines of attack. Maybe one of us is going to see a free Taylor Swift concert. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure if that happens, you'll hear all about it and get video. Right, Jen? Cub reporter, Jen Taub?
Cub reporter, yes.
While you were talking, I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear. So yeah, I'll try.
Okay. I will be doing other things, but we'll be back here tomorrow. No, we're going to be talking to a lot of people today, kind of getting our bearings in preparation for the last day, which is just going to be through the roof. So thanks as always for being with us, Danielle, Jen. Thank you, fellow Cub reporters, for hanging out with me. I will see you later. Thanks, Mercedes, and everybody watching. We will see you later today and tomorrow. Stay safe. Bye.